Welcome back to the channel. This is Gillis TV here today, and thank you guys for all the support lately. It's been really appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's try to get this video to 10 likes. We're trying to work to 3,800 subs. We are stuck on 3788 for the last couple days. But let's get to the news. So earlier today, if you haven't seen the video, go check it out here on the channel. The Toronto Blue Jays traded Teoscar Hernandez to the Seattle Mariners for Eric Swanson and a prospect. They added in the bullpen, not too shabby. But with the release of Ramel Tapia last night, same with Bradley Zimmer, where is this Jays team going? And there's been rumors now flying since the Teoscar Hernandez trade about 7 hours ago. There are some potential suitors for the Toronto Blue Jays out there. And watching up here in Canada, it's TSN, Scott Mitchell said there were three names that could really come into play when we're talking about the Toronto Blue Jays. They're hoping to add a lefty outfielder to help their defense out. Okay, that's great and all, but Teoscar Hernandez has 61 home runs with players on base since 2017. The next one on that list is Vladdy at 42, I think it said. That's great. You want to upgrade defense in the outfield, you're going to need to upgrade your hitting as well. And they are looking at another left-handed outfielder to help. So the names come into mind, and depends on George Springer too. So when Scott Mitchell was talking, he put in that there are three candidates, and I'll get to those three in a minute. But one of those candidates would actually push George Springer to right field, which, given his injury playing center field with the Toronto Blue Jays the last few years, wouldn't actually be a bad idea. Oh, sorry about that. Which wouldn't be a bad idea. So I'll start with Brandon Nimmo. That's the guy we're talking about who would push George Springer to right field, and he is a lefty batter, which is what the Blue Jays are looking for, and he has some speed. So there is an article on him that starts out by saying the Blue Jays subtracted from their outfield mix earlier today when they dealt Teoscar Hernandez to the Mariners. In the wake of the deal, they are now showing interest in adding free agent Brandon Nimmo, according to John Morrissey of MLB.com. Toronto's general manager Ross Atkins spoke with members of the media on a conference call after the deal, and though he did not mention Nimmo by name, nothing he said would seem to preclude the club from such a bold move. We're in a better position to do so now from a resource and from playing time and recruitment standpoint, Atkins tells she I'm not even going to say that name. One option that's on the table is acquiring a center fielder and pushing George Springer over to now the vacant right fielder spot. And I know George will be open to it, Atkins tells Ben Nicholson-Smith of Sportsnet. If the Blue Jays are indeed interested in adding a free agent center fielder, they could hardly do better than Nimmo, excluding Aaron Judge since he's more of a right fielder. Nimmo is the clear top option available on the center fielder market. Then it's steep drop down to the next tier, consisting of veterans coming off an injury-plagued season such as Kevin Kiermaier and Adam Duvall. Having spent his entire career with the Mets this far, Nimmo is a quality hitter, primary for his ability to get on base. His career walk rate is 13.6%, well above the 2022 league average of 8.2. That helped him produce a batting line of .269 ERA and a WRC of 134, indicating he has been 34% above league average in his time in the majors. He also been generally regarded as a quality outfielder through perhaps not elite defensive run save game. Gave him a 5 last year, but a -3 in 2022. Ultimate zone rating had him at 3.4 in 2021, minus 0.4 this year. Outs above average, however, had him at 3 last year and 6 this year. Given the excellent production and his ability to play corners, Nimmo would likely be able to upgrade the outfield on a majority of teams around the league. It's possible that Nimmo's a left-handed bat makes him extra appealing to the Blue Jays, given their lineup is a lot of right-handed batters through, though that wasn't really a problem for them in 2022 against right-handed pitching. The club collectively hit a .266, the amount of 118 WRC plus, indicating they were 18% above league average. Only the Dodgers at 122 and Mets at 119 were better against northpaws, which doesn't suggest the club needs to make a left-handed bat a specific target. Regardless, there's an argument to move Springer out of center fielder into the corner, where the rigors of the position are generally agreed to be lesser. Springer is now 33, more than 3 years older than Nimmo, who is 29, turning 30 in March. He also dealt with his fair share of injuries since joining the Blue Jays, only getting into 211 total games over the past 2 years. He's recovering from elbow surgery this offseason, but is expected to be recovered in time for spring training. So there we go. It's Ross Atkins didn't say it, but he did mention that George would be open to going to right fielder if it was necessary. Now we look at Brandon Nimmo's numbers. In 580 at-bats this season, he hit .274 with 16 home runs, 64 RBIs, and 3 stolen bases. He's not the power bat, but he knows how to get on base, and that's what the Blue Jays are looking for with a left-handed batter. Now, you want to upgrade your defense, and this guy was pretty much Blue Jays were interested in him at the deadline. That's Andrew Benintendi. Last year, Benintendi played for 2 teams and had 461 at bats with a .304 average with 5 home runs, 51 RBIs, 8 stolen bases. He's not a home run producing guy, but he is one of those guys that could get on base, really defensive. He has speed, and that could help the Blue Jays as well, being a left-handed batter in that sense as well. Now, the next one is a switch hitter, so lefty-righty, which would complement this Blue Jays lineup pretty well. It is Bryan Reynolds. With a 542 at-bats last season, he hit .262 with 27 home runs, 62 RBIs, and 7 stolen bases. Reynolds has become a pretty good player in the MLB and could help this Jays team, being that switch hitter that gives the Jays a lot of options. He is fast. He does have power from both sides of the plate, more on the left than the right, but he could still hit the long ball from the right side. And he's one of those guys that is versatile. He can play all 3 positions in the outfield, and he has the speed and defensive ability to do something in the outfield as well. But those are 3 names that we are going to take into consideration. Watch for the Blue Jays to make a push on 1 or 2 of them, depending on George Springer and who they have behind Springer and Gurriel. It's going to be a tough one. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. This is Gillis TV here right on Clemox. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll catch you on the next one.